A federal judge in Seattle has issued a temporary restraining order halting the implementation of an executive order signed by Donald Trump earlier this week that aimed to end automatic birthright citizenship in the United States. U.S. District Judge John Coffenor described the order as blatantly unconstitutional. The executive order, signed on Trump's first day back in office, sought to prevent children born in the U.S. to non-citizen or non-permanent resident parents from receiving automatic citizenship. The policy, set to take effect on February 19th, has already sparked 5 lawsuits, with civil rights groups and Democratic attorneys general from 22 states arguing it violates the 14th Amendment's citizenship clause. At the urging of attorneys general from Washington, Arizona, Illinois, and Oregon, Judge Coffenor acted quickly to block the order, highlighting its constitutional implications. Washington Assistant Attorney General Lane Polizzola argued before the court saying, "Under this order, babies being born today don't count as U.S. citizens." Outside the courtroom, Polizzola remarked on the significance of the ruling, stating, "This is step one, but to hear the judge say this is one of the most blatantly unconstitutional actions he's encountered in his 40 years on the bench underscores the gravity of this issue." The executive order directs federal agencies to deny citizenship to children born in the U.S. if neither parent is a citizen or lawful permanent resident. It also denies these children Social Security numbers, access to government benefits, and legal work opportunities as they grow older. Democratic-led states estimate that more than 150,000 newborns annually would be denied citizenship if the order is implemented. The Justice Department defended the executive order in a brief, describing it as a critical element of Trump's broader immigration agenda, addressing what they called a broken immigration system. They also argued that the 14th Amendment has never been interpreted to guarantee universal birthright citizenship, and cited a 19th-century Supreme Court ruling they claim supports this narrower view. Meanwhile, 36 Republican lawmakers have introduced legislation to align with Trump's policy, proposing to restrict birthright citizenship to children born to citizens or lawful permanent residents. The legal challenges are expected to escalate, with Democratic attorneys general emphasizing that the 14th Amendment's citizenship clause, adopted in 1868, has long been interpreted to protect the rights of all children born in the U.S. This clause overturned the infamous Dred Scott decision and solidified citizenship rights for those born on American soil. As the legal battle unfolds, the implications of Trump's order remain a contentious issue with profound constitutional and social consequences. President Donald Trump delivered a virtual address at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, marking his first major international appearance since resuming office earlier this week. Over 45 minutes, Trump criticized several global and domestic practices. European regulators, accused of being overly strict on U.S. tech companies. Oil producers, alleged to keep prices artificially high. Banks, criticized for denying services to conservatives. Trump urged nations worldwide to invest in the United States, emphasizing low tax rates and promising attractive corporate taxation. He highlighted a more business-friendly regulatory environment with reduced regulations. Domestically, Trump targeted the Federal Reserve, declaring, "I'll demand that interest rates drop immediately, and likewise they should be dropping all over the world." The remark signaled a possible lobbying campaign aimed at Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Trump underscored America's vast oil and gas resources, stating, "The United States has the largest amount of oil and gas of any country on earth, and we're going to use it." He emphasized that leveraging these resources would lower costs for goods and services and establish the U.S. as a manufacturing superpower and a global hub for artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. He also announced plans to approve power plants for AI through emergency declarations. Trump stated his intent to urge Saudi Arabia and OPEC to reduce oil prices. Following these comments, crude oil prices declined. After his speech, Trump participated in a Q&A session with Steve Schwarzman, Blackstone chairman, Brian Moynihan, Bank of America chairman and CEO, Anna Boten, Banco Santander executive chair, and Patrick Pouyanné, Total Energy's chairman and CEO. The session also included WF founder Klaus Schwab and CEO Borge Brenda. Trump made additional controversial announcements calling for U.S. assertion over the Panama Canal and renewing his offer to acquire Greenland from Denmark. He considered imposing a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian goods, and a 10% tariff on Chinese imports. Trump touted actions to abolish federal diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, calling them nonsense. He stated, "My administration has taken action to abolish all discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion nonsense. Policies that were absolute nonsense throughout the government and the private sector. America will once again become a merit-based country." In his address, Trump noted progress toward peace in Ukraine and expressed hope for a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump's remarks reflected his administration's priorities on economic reform, energy independence, global influence, and domestic policy changes, reaffirming his administration's commitment to making America a dominant global force. President Donald Trump has issued a new directive aimed at granting full federal recognition to the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina. Known as the People of the Dark Water, the Lumbee tribe boasts a rich history, with roots tracing back to several tribal nations from the Algonquian, Iroquoian, and Siouan language families, including the Hatteras, the Tuscarora, and the Chiraw. The Lumbee River and its surrounding lands have been a sanctuary for the tribe for centuries, providing sustenance and protection through times of war, disease, and other challenges. In 1885, the state of North Carolina officially recognized the Lumbee people as an Indian tribe. However, it wasn't until 1956 that President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Lumbee Act, which acknowledged the Lumbee as the Lumbee Indians of North Carolina but denied them federal benefits. Today, the Lumbee tribe consists of over 55,000 members, making it the largest tribe east of the Mississippi River and the 9th largest in the nation. In 2024, the Lumbee Fairness Act, which aimed to grant full federal recognition to the tribe, passed the House of Representatives but was not considered by the Senate. Recognizing the historical and modern significance of the Lumbee tribe, President Trump has directed the Secretary of the Interior to review all applicable authorities and submit a plan within 90 days to assist the Lumbee tribe in obtaining full federal recognition. This plan will include a detailed analysis of potential legal pathways such as legislation, judicial action, or the procedures for federal acknowledgement of Indian tribes. This directive marks a significant step toward achieving full federal recognition for the Lumbee tribe, reaffirming the United States' commitment to supporting the Lumbee people and their rich cultural heritage. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. President Donald Trump has signed an executive order directing the declassification of additional records related to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. The order was signed at the White House on Thursday. As an aide announced the executive action to release the files, Trump remarked, "That's a big one, huh? A lot of people have been waiting for this, for years, for decades." Trump instructed the aide to present the pen used to sign the order to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., son of the late Robert F. Kennedy, and Trump's nominee for Secretary of Health and Human Services. The elder Kennedy, a former U.S. Attorney General, Senator, and presidential candidate, was assassinated in 1968 while campaigning in California. The executive order tasks the Director of National Intelligence and the Attorney General, once confirmed, with creating a plan within 15 days to release the remaining JFK assassination files. Additionally, they have 45 days to prepare plans for releasing files related to the RFK and MLK assassinations. The FBI confirmed its compliance with the executive order, which requires a comprehensive review of assassination records and a plan for their complete release. The agency works with the Department of Justice and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence to identify relevant records. Following the partial release of JFK assassination files in 2022, the National Archives and Records Administration reported that 97% of the approximately 5 million pages in its collection had already been made public. During his first term in 2017, Trump pledged to release all remaining JFK files, including 3,000 never-before-seen documents and 30,000 previously released with redactions. However, not all files were disclosed at that time, with some withheld due to objections from the CIA and FBI. Congress passed legislation in 1992 mandating the release of all assassination-related documents within 25 years, a deadline that has since been extended multiple times. Trump's latest executive order reinforces his earlier commitment, aiming for greater transparency in one of the most scrutinized events in American history. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.